Welcome back to the AR Podcast, episode 11. Today, myself and my partner Ryan, what's going on,
What's
Ryan?
up?
Are going to go
What's
this week's
up?
What's up?
What's up?
Over this week's Monday Night Raw and Friday Night Smackdown. So, like normal, kick back, relax, and enjoy the episode. Let's get into it, Ryan.
Let's go.
So, Raw was an interesting start for me because I was not expecting Ludwig Kaiser to be out there. But I was expecting at some point we were going to talk about Gunther's win at King and Queen of the Ring.
The new King General Gunther.
Dude, let's talk about that botch finish. Again, that was we already talked about it. Let's talk about it again. We talked about a future rematch, and they're just now going crazy about it on TV itself. Like they said something on SmackDown, which we'll get to later, and they said something on Raw as well about it. I don't remember who the hell said it, but something on Raw was said as well. So it's been 2 times now they've mentioned it on TV. But let's just get right into it with Ludwig Kaiser announcing Gunther. He's already in the ring, whatever. And like we said, you're King of the Ring, the King General. And then Gunther comes out. He's carrying the crowd to the ring. And what I found interesting was I was actually listening to the chants, and they were like boos and we want Randy chants.
Mm-hmm.
So how soon do we think this rematch is going to happen? And if so, or if the rematch happens, how soon do we think it's going to happen?
I would do Clash at the Castle, honestly.
Make it like immediate?
Yeah, I would do them at the next PLE. Like, why not? Like, the Scotland fans are going to go rapid. And I also think that, like, they could really turn this into a good storyline because it's something, like, real. It's something natural. Like, they actually botched the finish of the end of that match. And now they're calling it out on TV in multiple segments on multiple shows. So that leads me to believe that, like, they're going to turn this into an angle or a storyline between the two of them and maybe have that be a catalyst for them having a feud now.
Right.
Which I would love.
Yeah, even with Kaiser, is he actually going to go for Sheamus, or are we actually going to see this Sheamus thing take off with him? I know we'll talk about it definitely later in this, but he's still going after Sheamus. Like,
why not do a tag team? The Legends versus these two guys.
Legends versus Imperium.
Imperium, yeah.
Well, we saw like I said, we want Randy Chance, and then he Gunther actually says he's proud of Damian. He goes, ever since Rhea has been out, Damian has stepped up and taken responsibility. But he would also say that the World Heavyweight Championship is lacking prestige because Damian is taking shortcuts. In other words, essentially what Gunther did to get past round 1, he had help. But he also said the tournament was lacking prestige. I think the Raw side was stacked. The SmackDown side, on the other hand, was really hit and miss, to say. That was just for me. There was a bunch of contenders for the Raw that I really wanted, but then 2 for SmackDown I wanted.
Yeah, on the SmackDown side, Randy Orton, when I think about it, really, Randy Orton or maybe LA Knight were the only 2 guys that I really believed could have a chance at winning the tournament.
Right.
And then on Raw, we had Jey Uso, Ilya, Gunther, Sheamus was honestly an underdog, I would have thought.
Oh, yeah. We had so many
They definitely had more guys.
But then after Gunther would say that Damian is taking shortcuts, Judgment Day would come out, and he's kind of upset, or Damian's kind of upset about Gunther's comments. And he, again, like I was just talking about, he brought up the botched finish. And Damian goes, well, I earned a briefcase in a ladder match, and he talked about cashing in, we all know the cash in story. We all know what was happening throughout the time, but I think what we thought was basically Rhea was trying to hold the power over Damian instead of what actually happened. But he looked at Gunther, he goes, bro, do you get how business works around here? Like, do you not understand how like shit works around here? Like, if you're part of a stable, the stable's more than likely helping you, essentially, or the like whatever like unwritten rules they have or something like that.
They lift each other up.
Yeah,
it's like a schoolyard. You want a group of people around you to protect you from the bullies.
I will say this is not going to happen at all at SummerSlam. Because I think Drew McIntyre is, once we get to that, I think Drew McIntyre is going to beat Damian at Clash of the Castle. Then we will see we'll see Drew versus Gunther at SummerSlam.
No,
Bro, if there's Drew
I don't
versus
think so.
Gunther,
I actually don't. I think it's gonna be Damian versus
you think it's
Gunther
gonna
at
be Damian?
SummerSlam. I actually don't. I don't think Drew's winning in Scotland. I don't.
I want to explain that.
I think Punk's gonna screw him.
Really?
Yeah, that's the prediction line that I'm going down right now. I think that's why Punk isn't on TV as much right now, even though his tricep, or at least from what we've seen, his tricep has been getting a lot better.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's why we haven't really been seeing him a whole lot, is because he's gonna come back at Clash at the Castle, fuck Drew over in the world title match, and then we're gonna get them two in a singles match at SummerSlam, and then Gunther gets the title off of Damian.
Damn.
I'm not upset if that actually happens, though. That'd be fucking awesome.
That actually would be awesome. Damn. Okay.
That's my pick right there.
Gunther, I want him and Drew to have that match, because I mean, him and Sheamus had that match. Why not give him and Drew, just put a fucking title on it? They always have good matches together.
Yeah, they had.
I definitely see how this whole thing ties in with CM Punk 100%. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But Gunther focuses on the fact he's king of the ring, and if Damian is champion, Damian's champion after Clash of the Castle, Gunther will see him at SummerSlam. But Gunther he obviously can't teach Damian how to be a champion, because, Damian was a world champion before he was on the main roster. But he can teach him about this great sport of professional wrestling. And you can either address him as king or world heavyweight champion.
I thought that was a solid bar. I'm not even going to lie.
And
Gunther said that. I was like, oh!
That's what I'm saying. Damian would look at Gunther and be like, as world champion, what can you teach me that I already don't know? Like, he's being cocky. And then Drew's music would hit. He brings up Punk, and as soon as he said this, I was like, yep, I don't even want to hear it. Don't care.
He didn't bring up Punk. No. They were chanting CM Punk.
Right,
the crowd was chanting CM Punk, and he goes, hold on, I need to address this, or else they're not going to shut the hell up. And then he brought up Punk.
Right.
Which was funny as fuck.
And he basically was like, the highlight of Punk's return is Drew. He predicts that he's going to win at Clash of the Castle, which makes Gunther leave. And now, that basically Damian's not looking past Drew at all. He's not that's just another contender. He's going to fight. Which now you say Punk is going to go to Scotland. It's kind of making me want Gunther versus Damian, but I also don't. But here's the thing. You want to know, to add on to your little, your idea, not little idea, but your idea. Why not say fuck it? Have fucking Finn win the world or the Money in the Bank and have him cash in on Damian at SummerSlam. Say fuck it. Just completely fuck the Judgment Day, dude. Just fuck him up. Because Liv was seen backstage talking to JD.
I've got more on that.
And I have something for the end of Raw, which nobody saw coming. It was fucking crazy. But Drew basically says to him, he goes, ever since Mommy was injured, Judgment Day just completely gone to shit. And all we hear is just USA chants, basically. And Drew's like, dude, you're walking into a complete war zone at Clash of the Castle, because the Scottish fans will break Priest. And Drew's going to break him physically because, dude, those Scottish fans are absolutely insane. They are always cheering on Drew or whoever. But Damian kind of got under Drew's skin, because Drew said something about Damian goes, so basically what I'm hearing is you're trying to get under my skin. So let me ask you this. Is your wife going to be there? What's her name? And you could immediately see it. That it pissed off Drew. Dude, Drew's pissed, done for.
Mm-hmm.
So the next thing we hear after that, we hear, Braun! Drew would leave the ring, and Braun would come up to the ring, and him and Damian would get nose to nose. I'm not saying we see a Braun and Damian feud, I'm saying, do we see a Braun as a future world champion in this probably maybe last run that we see with Braun?
Damn straight we do. I want to see Braun Strowman with a world title again. I think he's fucking awesome.
Oh,
I think
dude,
he's
he's
one of the
an absolute
guys that
monster.
like you can put the world title on him, and he doesn't need to have a he doesn't need to have a long title reign with it. It can be like a 2-3 month title reign, but it's gonna be a fucking awesome 2-3 months because Braun Strowman's the world champ.
Right.
He's gonna wreck everybody.
This would lead us into our Braun Strowman versus JD McDonough match, which let's just be real. Braun absolutely fucked him. JD would try to straight chopping Strowman, did not do anything. Like it was just like a little bug bite to Strowman, and fucking Strowman absolutely wails on his chest, bro. Straight smacks the shit out of him, drops him. And then JD was able to start targeting Braun's knees and take control of it. Braun would obviously fire back with a crazy ass clothesline. He would hit JD with a Strowman Express, and Carlito and Balor would actually try and get involved, but would ultimately get attacked by Braun, and JD would come flying off the ropes. Braun would hit him with a tilt-a-whirl power slam for the dub. But during the match, I did notice JD wanted Braun counted out. So like I said mentioned, he was attacking Braun's knee as much as he could. And after the match, Strowman would be hit with a chair by JD, and Strowman would just absolutely eat this thing, dude. Absolutely eat it. He turned around, and all he hears, dude, like the audio went quiet when I was watching the stream. It said, "You fucked up. You fucked up." I was like, bro. And I think, which if I remember correctly, JD ran backstage, and Braun started chasing after him with his limp knee. But we would head backstage to Kathy Kelly with Liv Morgan, and Kathy Kelly brings up the Dominic incident. She was like, do you have any remorse? You won. And she's like, no, like I don't, like, but she had nothing to do with Dominic being there at all. And basically she would just talk about Becky and how she's going to be in the one-on-one steel cage match, which was honestly a decent match in my eyes. I liked it.
Okay, that was fun.
But going back to the Judgment Day, we would see Carlito and Finn bickering, which if I remember correctly, in the locker room of the Judgment Day. Jamie would go, "Where's JD?" And basically, Judgment Day just kind of damn near needs a reboot since Rhea's been gone, because they have like no one to like take care of him, like in an emotion, like in a sense of like if it's really not as a relationship, as an emotional side. So we don't have mommy, so there's no emotion. Now it's all a bunch of fucking testosterone level head or like headed meatheads, bro. Like we're just going at it.
And Dominic.
Yes. Dominic is just
fuck you, Dirty Sanchez.
We'll talk about Dirty Sanchez later. But we would cut back to a something with Ricochet with the WWE doctors, which I was super excited about. But we found out he was cleared to compete. Ricochet wants Braun Breaker. He would actually find out that Breaker was suspended and was fined. And Ilya actually thanked Ricochet for pushing him out of the way, which I think I mentioned last episode on how that was significant in their relationship, because Ricochet was willing to basically take the hit for him. Yeah, Ricochet yeah. So we just saw that, and I thought that was pretty interesting. I think we could, I mean, even if they don't like keep fighting each other, they'll obviously put on another, like if they ever get a match without someone interfering, like Braun Breaker, another one of those one-on-ones, dude, we could see something absolutely phenomenal. Or I think
they have the best chemistry ever.
It wouldn't be bad as them as a tag team either.
No, honestly, not. You got the high flying, like crazy acrobatics of Ricochet, and then just brute force strength beat the fuck out of you, Ilya.
Basically, it's like Braun Strowman in the smaller human.
Yeah, right. He literally is. He's Braun Strowman, but just packed down.
Yeah, I'm happy that we got to see Ricochet be cleared, but which will lead us into his match versus Ilya. Ilya, try to make sure Ricochet was okay throughout the match because he got absolutely fucking mauled by Braun. Basically, Ilya would keep just German suplexing the shit out of Ricochet, hurting his ribs. Ricochet would counter with the Constantine special, or counters a Constantine special with a knee and hits a dive to the outside. But he would go for another dive, and Ilya would absolutely just catch him and drive his ribs right into the apron, but just kind of targeting where Braun would hit him when he speared him. Ricochet would fire back with the moonsault off the ring post. Always badass. But we go back inside the ring. Ilya would hit the Constantine special and hit Ricochet with rapid chops in the corner and a power bomb. Ilya would attempt the top rope H-bomb, but would absolutely just get fucking super kicked. And given Ricochet's recoil for a near fall. But like we said, Braun Breaker would actually spear Ricochet, absolutely fuck him up in his match. And I seen a video of this. Braun was just creeping through the crowd, dude, just absolutely like an animal. It was crazy.
Yeah, I've seen that video too, bro.
Oh
Someone's
my
fan
goodness.
perspective.
Yes, it was crazy. I was like, all right, this dude's gonna be an absolute monster. It's them Steiner jeans, like you've been saying, Ryan.
Steiner jeans.
But during Ilya's entrance, we saw the QR code, which I had tweeted something out on our Twitter at AROSigPod. Give me 1 second. I had an idea because it kind of like it made me think with Ilya. You know how his lights go red?
Mm-hmm.
What if the reason his lights went red? I mean, not the lights, but the reason we saw the QR code and his thing in red was because Bray obviously said, "I'm the color red in a world full of black and white." Do we think this is another hint of Uncle Howdy's coming sooner than soon? Like we have all, I think we're predicting now June 17th.
I hope so.
I hope that kind of ties in with that. But like I said, Braun Breaker intervened, absolutely just ran through the crowd like an animal, absolutely like an animal,
beast.
dude. I was scared. I was like, oh shit, he's gonna eat someone's head off.
He's gonna break this man in half.
I think we need to see something with Braun Breaker getting like the IC title soon. Like fuck the tag titles, give him the IC title. Do not give him a world title yet. Obviously, it's too early. Give him a few IC title runs, but make him like seem legit. Like almost put like guys like Gunther back in that scene, but not Gunther specifically, but make guys like him in that scene and just absolutely make the IC title scene blow up more and more.
Yeah.
We come back to commercial and Pierce is seen screaming at Braun Breaker, and he walks over to Kiana James and he basically goes, "Dude," or Kiana goes, "You want to go talk in your office?" He goes, "Yeah, because I need a drink." Braun Breaker's just been on him since he's basically made his main roster debut, and he won. He's so pissed that he wasn't in that tournament.
Yeah, I think this is going to be building to a triple threat match between Ricochet, Ilya, and Braun. Honestly, like I've been like talking about a little bit, like wanting to see Sheamus come back and fight Braun, but he's clearly tied up with Ludwig Kaiser, which you'll talk about in a little bit. But I think that triple threat match would be fucking awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. I 100% agree with you on that. Getting into it though more, this would move us into a segment earlier in the day with the Awesome Truth celebrating Memorial Day with the ice cream truck.
Yeah.
And the New Day would come up, which I'm kind of thinking, do we see a New Day and Awesome Truth match here or there, or like them challenge for the tag titles?
Didn't even mention what R-Truth asked the Miz. Bro, Truth walks out the ice cream truck. He goes,
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't hear it.
He goes, "Hey, Miz." Well, no, Miz is wearing all white, obviously. And he goes, "Truth, why am I wearing an all white outfit?" And Truth looks at him and he goes, "Well, obviously, you got to represent your flavor. You're obviously vanilla." And Miz looks at him and he goes, "So what are you?" And Truth, before Miz can say anything, Truth goes, "Well, strawberry." Which is when New Day comes up and they're like, "Miz, what were you about to say? What were you going to say, huh? What flavor, huh?"
I did not hear that. But Karrion Kross would also come up. He was seeing the End is Near shirt, which I noticed there was a hourglass on there, and it looked really close to a resemblance of the Nightbird things we've been seeing here recently. Where is it? Right here. I found it. I'm pulling it up right now. But like it kind of just reminded me of. Can I not promo? Stop promo codes. I don't care. I want to just talk. Anyways, it's like the end is near, and it said "scorch the earth," but I noticed like the hourglass is like almost like kind of it's almost out, and like I was saying with the Uncle Howdy thing, like Uncle Howdy coming June 17th. June 17th, at the time of this recording, is only 15 days away. That is 2 weeks from tomorrow's Monday Night Raw, and I think that kind of put that into perspective as well of that. But seeing Karrion Kross, we would see his stablemates from the Final Testament, AOP, versus the Creed brothers with Ivy Nile. I do want to say Scarlett did attack Ivy Nile at the end of the match, which I thought was interesting.
Push her
like
up
you
right in the steps.
All four, basically like an Indian normal tag team match. If shit's going crazy, we're seeing everyone just start brawling, dude. Like, come on now.
Bro, they didn't even let the match start officially before all four of them just started going at it.
Yeah, I love when that shit happens. But Razor would hit a Death Valley driver into the turnbuckles on Brutus. Julius would get a hot tag and suplex AOP, and like when he was suplexing, dude, he was like kicking himself back up and everything. Like that was crazy. And
it was going nuts. Yeah,
he would give Akam a moonsault. Like I said, Scarlett attacked Ivy Nile to distract the Creed brothers, and AOP would hit their what is now their newly named "What a Rush" finisher for the dub, which I think is kind of a nod to
the Road Warriors.
Thank you. I don't know why.
Michael Cole, I think, called that out on commentary, which I think is fucking awesome.
Which is actually to add to the Road Warriors, Paul Ellering actually managed them as well.
Of course. I really like. I didn't like the match itself because it was really boring. I guess there wasn't anything to like about the match. I liked the stories. There was like two stories going along in this match that I really really liked, and it was kind of like AOP is like now I think going to be positioned as going after the tag titles, and they're going to win tag gold I think at some point. And this also sets up the Creed brothers because they've been losing a lot recently. So this just sets up the Creed brothers because they kind of got squashed in this match, honestly. To go to Chad Gable. Yeah, they need to go to Chad Gable and be like, hey, man, we're kind of struggling here recently. And we need some help after like that squash with the Creed brothers. But I'm also a really big fan of everything. I like the switch up that they've done with Karrion Kross, where they've gone away from spooky time themed dude that preaches about prophecy and shit like that to where now he's becoming this more manipulative character where we see him trying to drive a wedge between the New Day right now.
The New
Day, which obviously they shouldn't break up the New Day, but I think it'd be a really cool story to just tease them breaking up because of Karrion Kross's manipulation.
I don't think you could ever break up the New Day, dude.
Oh, hell no! Especially not after what happened to Big E.
Exactly. Like, you just got to keep
Never break them up.
Ever.
But you can tease it.
Yes, you can 100%.
And then at some point where it looks like they're about to punch each other in the face, they just hug each other instead.
Right.
The power of positivity.
The power of positivity. I fucking love them, dude. Oh, fuck. This would actually, I think this is going to be something for the New Day. They might have like one or two final runs as tag champions. They're going to call it quits because, I mean, they're getting old, dude. Kofi's been here for almost 20 years. Xavier's been in there for almost 15, I want to say.
Oh, yeah, they got some years on him now.
Yeah, but we would, and speaking of someone who also has years on him, literally, he's like 3 or 4 decades now.
The legend.
Rey Mysterio, the Hall of Famer, probably the greatest luchador of all time. Like I said, Rey Mysterio.
I would say at least the greatest luchador of all time. He's the fucking GOAT.
We revisited the segment from last Monday when everything was absolutely chaotic, and Rey's like, dude, Carlito, you were welcome with open arms. You were my brother. What happened? And he's like, Carlito, you're jealous. You just got to the best of you, man. Like I don't know what. And Ray basically it was a short segment of Ray just shitting on Carlito, but he literally told Carlito, he's like, I do not want to be friends with you anymore. You are no longer welcome in the LWO. And I think this could help push for a Carlito and Ray feel like a true, authentic Carlito versus Ray, and they just had, say Carlito's actually joined the Judgment Day, now Judgment Day is still a part of this, and we have LWO, now it's LWO versus Judgment Day and Carlito, and it's an absolute, this one, they actually make this thing take off.
I think they're gonna, with Carlito, this is kind of out there, but I think they've obviously been teasing a lot with Judgment. This is more of like a Judgment Day thought than more of like an LWO Rey Mysterio Carlito thought, but I think that at some point Damien, I almost said Dominic, but fuck Dominic, by the way, but Damien's gonna get too cocky and shit, get kicked out of the Judgment Day, and the guy that they pick to replace him is gonna be Carlito.
Ooh.
Okay. And then this is super more into it. I think that we're gonna see a completely new Judgment Day on the other side of SummerSlam, with it being Carlito, JD, Finn, Dominic, and Liv Morgan.
But we're not getting to that just yet. Fuck Dom. Fuck Liv.
Fuck, right, and then that gets more of into a Liv Morgan topic. I want to talk more about that later.
I do too. Sheamus will come out. Sheamus amped. We're amped up. Let's get it. Come on,
Sheamus.
And he's not upset about King of the Ring match. He isn't. He gets it. It's business. Whatever. But he's looking to fight Ludwig. And Ludwig is actually seen hiding backstage. And he's like, Ludwig Kaiser is on his own time. I found that pretty interesting. Because now that him saying that, do we see something later with Gunther being like, Kaiser's not in his own time. He's on my time. And then we start seeing them kind of bicker back and forth. And Sheamus is just kind of this third man in this. And he basically just wants to beat the shit out of Gunther and Ludwig. And then, so as that's going on, he's beating them both. Not beating them, but he's surprise attacks Ludwig here and there. And just fucking Gunther just kind of gives him a disgusted look they gave to Giovanni. Which we still have yet to see on SmackDown. By the way.
Right? Where the fuck did Giovanni Vinci go?
I hope they repackage him as he was in NXT. That would be badass.
Yeah, me too.
Sheamus would actually end up going to the back. He would pass if you stopped at a certain point. He passed a lady about the size of Alexa Bliss. And she had the pants that looked like the Fiend's pants, the striped red and black ones, but they're different colors. I think it was gold and black or silver and black, something. I don't know.
Yeah.
And she had her pigtails in almost.
Oh, she's here.
But it wasn't. But it turns out was not actually Alexa, which I will bring up when we get to Uncle Howdy. But that I will say that it was not Alexa. But Kaiser would ambush Sheamus. And they would actually take that brawl out into the arena. Sheamus said, I can go right through Gorilla, go maybe 5 feet, get absolutely wailed on by Kaiser. Like I said, they brought the fight in the arena. Officials would separate them, and Michael Cole, I believe, said this. He goes, Pierce needs to put martial law in here because everything's just going crazy right now with Braun Strowman, with Braun Breaker, with Sheamus and Kaiser. Everything's just going off the walls right now. Basically, since WrestleMania, even before WrestleMania, shit's just been going off the walls, dude.
It's going wild.
Yeah. I don't know how I want to see what they do with the Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser feud. I think Sheamus will definitely put over Kaiser at some point.
Me too. It's definitely not one that I expected. I did not expect Sheamus to start having a singles feud with Kaiser when he came back. But I'm excited to see where it goes because Kaiser's a good wrestler and Sheamus is obviously a really good wrestler.
Yes.
And I know Sheamus has said he doesn't want to fight Gunther again, but god damn it, if it leads to another match between those two, I will take anything that Sheamus does to get there.
Bro, Sheamus puts on banger after
After
banger
banger,
after
after
banger
banger,
after
after
banger.
banger.
Um,
Hell yeah, bro. We love Sheamus. He's he's still underrated, I would say, honestly.
Oh, for sure.
He's a fucking legend.
Speaking of another Irish legend, Becky Lynch and Lyra will actually be seen backstage, and Becky like straight up looked at Lyra and she's like, "Dude, I take blame for what I did at King of the Ring, and I know you will be more in your future than what you experienced there. So I wish you good luck in your match tonight." And it was a very short segment. Becky would walk off, which would move us into Lyra's match versus Kairi Sane, who was with Dakota Kai.
Yeah, this was I liked this little backstage segment though, because especially with what happened after, the news that broke soon after the show, and everything that happened afterwards. This was definitely came across as Becky trying to give Lyra the rub on her way out the door. You know.
I don't think Becky's going to leave. I think Becky's just going to take time off work so she can spend time with Rollins and Rue.
Right, but
watch her grow up a little bit and everything, and help Rollins, recover from his injury.
Right. We never know, but at the same time, it still comes across like as Becky leaves to take time off or do whatever she wants to do, this is her giving the rub to Lyra on her way out the door.
100% yes. With Lyra's match though, oh my god, we get into it. I thought that this was an alright match. Lyra would hold her ribs almost after every move that she did, and took that to sell her rib injury from the Annihilator, I believe, at Queen of the Ring.
Nia fucking killed her.
Nia fucking killed, like straight up, no, like Lyra should not be alive.
Murked that bitch.
Kyrie would basically Kyrie. Jesus, I can't read. And I think I was trying to mix names. Would basically double stomp Lyra's ribs on the ring apron and just kind of keep like targeting her ribs. Kyrie would attempt an insane elbow, but Lyra was able to get her boots up and roll Kyrie up for the win. And right after that, Dakota Kai would try and attack Lyra, but she was able to. But Lyra ran away. Luckily for Lyra, that was good. But Becky Lynch would definitely have to come out and save her again.
Right.
I think, dude. I think this might be a good start for Lyra, because she could start feuding with Damage Control, and then Io's gonna have to step in and be like, "All right, let me take care of this," and we'll start seeing some more Io versus Lyra matches and just more highlights between them, because they're two very good in-ring performers.
Oh, 1,000%. I think you hit it right on the money with that one, where we're gonna be building more to Io versus Lyra again at some point. And then I think that even with her losing at Queen of the Ring, I think it's still a really strong possibility we see Lyra Valkyria versus Liv Morgan at SummerSlam.
Yes.
I'm still holding out. I think that's going to be, right now, that's like the most likely option for Liv Morgan's next title feud until Rhea Ripley comes back.
All I want to hear is, "This is my brutality!" And her music.
I'm gonna lose my shit.
I'm gonna fucking lose my mind.
Oh my god.
That's fucking awesome.
I don't think I'm ready. I don't think I'm ready for when the next time I hear Rhea Ripley's music and the next time I hear Roman Reigns' music, bro. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack.
Bro.
I'm not ready.
Dude. I'm ready. My heart's going pitter patter for both of those right now. Even though I will 100% admit it, I shat on Roman before WrestleMania. I did not. Oh, yeah. I could care less about Roman.
I still acknowledge my tribal chief.
And I did say that since I either did say if The Rock acknowledged him, or if he, or since The Rock acknowledged him, I now have to acknowledge Roman Reigns as my tribal chief.
He did it for The Rock.
He did it for The Rock. He did it for the people. He did it. He did it. He did it.
Oh, shut up, you big fat baby!
He's like, shut up, you big fat thong wearing baby. Oh man. So I don't know where it was, but this is like like I said earlier, JD was seen talking to Liv in the back, but Damian Priest would again ask about JD, and Carlito is asked why he was in the locker room, and basically then goes, "Where's Dom?" And Carlito would walk in with, I believe, Finn, and but Finn, and then he would get, or JD, or Jesus Christ, Damian would kind of look at JD and be like, "Oh, is it because you're too busy talking to Liv, shooting or taking a little shot at him when he was in the back talking to her?" And then like Damian like immediately just like give Finn this look, like I don't know what it was, but it was just this look of like, dude, some shit needs to change.
I didn't know about this, but apparently Finn was also, there was this part backstage or something where Finn was also talking to Liv Morgan.
Really?
I don't know. I didn't see it or anything. I only heard about it, but apparently that's what that look was about, was that both of them were seen talking to Liv Morgan. And that ties into what I said earlier about like them being the ones to drive out Damian, bring in Carlito, and Liv Morgan be revealed as the new leader of Judgment Day. And in that sense, Liv Morgan is completely taken over everything that Rhea Ripley loved when she was in the WWE. She took her man, she took her title, and she took her stable. Now the Liv Morgan revenge tour is complete.
Yes.
That's kind of where I was getting at earlier with that.
Speaking of Dom, his dumbass.
Fucking Dirty Sanchez, ugly little prick.
Damian basically asked Dom, like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, Dom has talked to Rhea, though. He's like, dude, don't worry about it. Me and Rhea are okay. Everything's fine. But Damian basically was like,
on that.
That's what I'm saying. Damian basically threatened Dom. He goes, if Dom doesn't fix anything with the world title scene for the women, Damian would not want to be in Dominic's shoes at all.
Oh, hell no.
I wouldn't be either.
I wouldn't be either. No.
Oh, man.
He's going to freaking rip his head off.
Yeah. He was actually going to murder him. But this will move us into Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee, and Zelina Vega, part of LWO, which they fucked up the entrance for Rey. They said everyone in LWO, but Joaquin Wilde and
Cruz del Toro
weren't there.
Right.
But Carlito would try walking away. The LWO would stop him. He would start targeting Rey's back with a backbreaker, and he would slam him into the turnbuckle, and he would hit a suplex on Rey. Rey would start firing back as he hit a seated senton from the top rope and a fucking moonsault. And Balor basically tries to help Carlito, but Rey absolutely lays him out with the senton, flying off the apron, and hit the 6-1 on Carlito for the W.
For the dub. Hold on, real quick. I don't mean to interrupt you, but this match has been like hyped up since like before fucking like WrestleMania, when we got the whole who done it angle, and like what the fuck?
What the fuck was this match? Was right.
All right, that was like just a shitty little fucking comment from me.
But I didn't notice Carlito was expecting someone to come out with him, but no one came out. Like we said, Finn Balor would be a part of it. He would jump the barricade and attack Dragon Lee. And then Damian would come out after the match, attack Rey Mysterio, and Carlito would be able to stop Dragon Lee from being on the top rope, basically making him fall and shit. And basically right at the end of the match, if you just watch Damian absolutely just fucking took care of the LWO like that. like nothing. And again, Damian would stare down Finn, and Finn's like, "Bro, what the fuck are you on?"
Yeah. Damian did come across like a fucking beast, though. I liked
Oh my god,
how
that was
they
such good
presented
presentation.
Damian right here,
Uh-huh.
dude. He came across like the fucking world champion should come
Mm-hmm.
across. Like, I would argue that since he's won the title, this segment right here where he came in and just whooped everyone is the best that he's looked.
Mm-hmm. But I definitely want to see. I just want to say, fuck it, give Finn the fucking Money in the Bank, dude.
Dude, I haven't even thought about that until you mentioned it. I think that's a really good idea.
Because now that we're gonna potentially see LA Knight in the U.S. title scene.
Yeah.
So why do we? Yeah. Why do we have to? Why have him win it? Maybe have Finn win it.
Dude, I'm with you. Seriously, straight up. Like, I would have, since it does look like LA Knight's going for the U.S. title, there's no reason to have him win Money in the Bank. So Balor wins the World Heavyweight title, and even if Damian isn't the world champion when he cashes in, that's still like the story of like, hey, look what I did. You did this last year, and I'm gonna do it better. I think that could be really fucking cool. Especially if it eventually gets Finn Balor versus Gunther, because I think I would absolutely lose my shit.
Yeah. That would be such a good match.
My God. My two favorite wrestlers. How do I pick a winner?
Right. But with LA Knight and Logan Paul, why not stretch this out till SummerSlam? You can stretch it out past Clash of the Castle and Money in the Bank and put it at SummerSlam.
Yes. Yep.
I don't think they're both gonna be at Clash of the Castle. It's still 2 weeks away. We don't know yet. But I think LA Knight's going to be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. But he's gonna get up there and have the briefcase, or like almost get to the briefcase, and Logan Paul is gonna come in and cost him.
Fuck yeah! I was thinking the exact. I was hoping that's what you were gonna say. I was thinking the same thing.
That's how we officially get the match for SummerSlam.
Honestly, yes, because I think that over the next few weeks, while we do build to Money in the Bank, where that will eventually happen, we could have Logan Paul just run Logan Paul down on the mic every single week and be like, "Where's the champ at? Where's the champ at? Is he the next Roman Reigns?" Yeah. You know, let me talk to you. Yeah. And just have him completely trash Logan Paul for weeks and weeks until he eventually is like at the top of the ladder about to grab the briefcase. And that's when Logan Paul shows up, knocks him down, and it's like, what? Talk your shit now. Talk your shit now. And then we get to the SummerSlam match.
Agreed. Getting back onto the Raw topic. Fuck SmackDown. No, I'm just kidding. We love SmackDown.
Oh, fuck. That is a SmackDown topic. Well, fuck.
SmackDown topic.
I completely forgot about that. We just kind of went off a tangent.
Io, before the match, Io was seen sitting backstage on a couch, and Kyrie saying in Dakota Kai would walk in, dude, and Io absolutely went fucking ape shit, like tearing up the entire room, dude.
She stomped through a fucking table.
She gave no fucks, dude.
Nuts.
Kyrie's too crazy. Move us to another backstage segment. Actually, no, we're gonna go back. Io, she I like this whole thing now because she went apeshit. Like we were saying earlier, we see more of Io versus Lyra because now Lyra is an issue to the Damage Control since she beat Kyrie. Now she's gonna beat Dakota Kai. I think already happened or next. I forget.
I think that's next week.
I think we see that next. Yeah, maybe.
I don't know if that got announced or not.
But then we see Lyra versus Io for a few matches.
I'd love to see that, especially if like maybe, dude. Oh my god! Imagine at some point, I don't know how long her recovery time is gonna be, but you can have like Lyra run through all of Damage Control and be like, "I've beaten all of them," and then you have the veteran of the group come out, and Asuka walks the fuck out there and is be like, "What the fuck you mean you beat everybody?"
Dude.
I fucking love Asuka. I love Asuka so much. That's another one I can't wait for her to come back.
I can't wait.
I think that'd be an awesome way for her to come back, and I think that match would be insane.
Agreed. We would see Chad Gable backstage with Akira Tozawa, and he shat on Tozawa for not being in Saudi Arabia. And Tozawa's like, "Dude, I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry. I won't do it again." and we see Braun Strowman enter the screen and ask them if he's seen JD. Nothing. And we would see Otis and Maxine walking the screen, and he looks at Otis and goes, "Why are you with Goldilocks and her 3 brain cells?" I was like, "Damn!" I was like, "Ain't no motherfucking way."
Savage.
And he would blame Otis for losing the IC title match in Saudi, which I don't think it happened. I still think it's Gable. Obviously, like I'm Team Otis over here. Let's go, Otis. Otis. And Gable would actually set up the match after this: Otis versus Bronson Reed, and he's like, "You're gonna beat Bronson, right?" He goes, "Right." He goes, "Say it." And Otis is like, "No matter what." And we would obviously move into the match. And to be honest, it was a damn near squash match. Let's be real. Bronson would smash Otis after Gable would distract him, costing him the match. Bronson would dropkick Otis after he tried getting back in the ring. Otis was able to hit Reed with the crossbody and throw him into the corner, setting up for the worm. But again, Gable would cost him by saying no and letting Reed lay out Otis and hit a tsunami from the top rope for a win.
I'm so sad.
Gable, you fucking dick. You fucking dick.
A few weeks ago, we all got gypped out of Jade Cargill versus Nia Jax in that bullshit DQ match. Now we all got screwed out of Bronson Reed versus Otis. That could be a fun big. I just want to see 2 big motherfuckers slapping their fucking shit together and just. I want to see a car crash of humans. Come on. I want to see 2 big, muscular fucking people just slap into each other.
Agreed. After the match,
I want the big meaty men slapping man meat.
Gable actually got on the mic and demanded Otis, Maxine, and Akira Tozawa all out to the ring. And Gable's like, "Otis, what am I going to do with you? You cost me. I came in the ring. Your redeem match was blown. And Otis, you lack discipline." And he was like, "I'm going to show you discipline in front of everyone in Savannah, Georgia." And he was doing that old thing that they used to do back in the day. He'd take off his belt and he goes, "You made me do this." And he was basically telling him, "Grab the rope." Like, like kind of like in a sense, bend over because I'm getting ready to spank you or whatever. And he kept yelling at him. And after Otis would, do that, Jesus Lord. Gable would get on the mic and say, "This is what happens when you bring shame to the Alpha Academy." And he would swing back, and Maxine would basically save Otis. And dude, Gable just mauled her. He goes, "You gonna cry, Maxine? You gonna cry, huh? You gonna cry? You can't handle this, Maxine, huh?" Like, just basically, like, just getting at her and shit. I'm like, dude, all right, dude, whatever.
And Gable's a dick.
Yeah, he basically goes, "Dude, get out and do not come back. I don't want to see you here anymore." And that's when Sammy's music would hit. He'd come out and he would meet Maxine and he'd be like, "Hey, are you okay?" Making sure. And Gable's like, "This is Alpha Academy business. You need to stay out of it." And I did notice, if you watched Otis in the background, he started getting a little jittery. He was feeling the fans, And Sammy would tell Gable, he's like, "You're a weak little man." And he's manipulated his way into every opportunity that came up short. He blames everyone but himself. And at the day, Chad Gable just can't get the job done. And Sammy and Chad would actually tussle over the IC belt, and there'd be "whoop that trick" chants in the crowd, which I thought was pretty fucking cool, acknowledging our NXT champion, Trick Williams. Otis would actually step in between Gable and Sami Zayn, though, kind of stop the fight, and Gable would actually attack Sammy after Otis would get all fired up from the crowd after Sammy was like, dude, why don't you listen? These fans love you. Don't listen to him. Just absolutely get all rambled up, dude. It was fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I love Otis, bro. He gets that fire, dude. But he looks
We love
lost
Otis.
and just does not know what to do at all. He doesn't know. And he basically just rips off Sammy. He's done for. Otis, you need to get out of here. We would hear the iconic "You suck" chants for Gable, and Gable would start attacking Sammy, and again Otis starts getting antsy behind him because he feels the fans are like Otis, and Chad Gable would again stand tall over Sammy with that Intercontinental Championship. To be honest, Chad, I think Chad needs his fucking belt. Like I think Sammy's going to be a transitional champion right now. I would love Sammy to keep the IC title, but right now I think we put it on Gable.
Yeah, put it on Gable.
Agreed.
And then maybe after that, have Otis beat him.
Otis. This would move us into the Liv Morgan promo, going over her revenge story again. Which would actually take us right into the main event of the night, the Women's World Championship in a steel cage match.
Oh, Becky's so good in steel cage matches. She always puts on a good one.
I'm so pissed about this ending. I'm just gonna put this out there.
Oh no,
we're upset. But Liv would honestly gain advantage over Becky, and this being Liv's first steel cage match, and she would actually stomp Becky's head against the cage, and she would say "Hi, Rhea," and wave right into the cam, and would hit multiple drop kicks to Becky against the cage. Becky was able to dodge and let Liv run just absolutely face first into the cage and start slamming her head into the cage. That cage and hits a missile drop kick on her, which I thought it added a little bit to the match because it's a steel cage match. Use the fucking cage as a weapon. Use the cage as a weapon.
Use it. That's what I'm talking about. Becky's always good with this fucking thing. These guys were fucking violent. I gotta say, you won't get this because you're not an AEW fan. But between the show on Sunday and the show on Monday, I think the better steel cage match was on Monday, y'all. That'll get a lot of people mad, but go ahead.
Okay, that's interesting. But Liv would wait, hold on. I lost where I was. Becky would attempt a disarm her, but Liv was able to kick her face first into the cage and hit a code breaker on her. Liv missed an oblivion, but Becky was able to turn it into a disarmer again, but used the ropes to her advantage. And who comes out? Dirty fucking Sanchez. Dirty Sanchez.
That's just what I'm fucking calling him.
And he opened the door for Becky to escape, but JD and Finn are like, dude, what the fuck are you doing? Like, stop. Like, what are you doing? You're fucking up. And all we hear would be, Braun! And Braun Strowman started chasing JD and Finn around the ring, and they would pass Dominic, but Dominic was holding the door open. Becky was almost out of the cage, and Braun just fucking throws him into the door, knocking Becky damn near out, and Liv was able to crawl out for the win. But after this match, Becky is actually a free agent as of the time of this recording, which sucks to say. We love Becky so much.
But like we said, I don't think she's actually going anywhere.
Before I get into the meat and bones of what I'm about to say, I do want to point out Kathy Kelly was with Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark for the number one contenders for the Women's World title. They invited Bianca and Jade to Raw, but Sonya was like, they're not going to do that. They're champions. You have to go over to their brand. And Sonya's like, dude, you won't win without me. And then Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler run into Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. And they just basically have no respect. And Sonya's like, there's no respect at all. But I don't give a fuck about that. I give a fuck about what happened after the Liv Morgan and Becky Lynch match. What the fuck was Dominic doing kissing Liv? What the fuck?
To be fair, she kissed him. She kissed him, and he kind of sold it like, I didn't want to do that, but he didn't stop it.
What the fuck is going on, dude?
Oh, no.
What the fuck?
This is what I'm talking about. Liv Morgan is taking everything from Rhea. She's taking her title. She's taking her man. And now she's taking her faction. She'll take everything from Rhea.
She's taking her Latino heat.
Make it. Oh no, not Latino heat. Not Dirty Sanchez.
That's Dirty Sanchez. Man, I'm
Oh
not gonna
my
lie,
gosh,
that match,
dude, this was insane.
That match was a very good match. I liked it.
It was a fun match, yeah.
They really just showed how Liv is also how far she's come since she's come back. She's been a runner-up, I think, once or twice since she's been back, and is now 3 times your women's world champion.
Hell yeah. We love Liv Morgan.
I love this. Let's get the Liv Morgan revenge tour kicked off. And, dude, let's get right into fucking SmackDown.
Get into SmackDown. Well, real quick before we get into SmackDown, I want to mention, you see anything with NXT happening recently? Any crossover?
Yes, I did. I forgot about that. And I was I did see something as well.
Insane.
The TNA World Champion, I believe, I don't know who it is. There's a guy in TNA that Drew used to feud with. And they're talking about the Forbidden Door, kind of, it goes both ways, buddy.
Oh yeah, dude. I think that through this partnership, depending on how it goes. First of all, I think it's a Battleground, isn't it? So it's gonna be TNA wrestler. I think it is. It's gonna be TNA wrestling NXT inside of a UFC building.
It's gonna be weird.
The Forbidden Door is officially open all the way.
Yeah, for real.
But
go
ahead. What were you saying?
I was saying I was
gonna move us on.
Expecting that.
Yeah, no, I'm super pumped to see where that goes. But without any further ado, let's get into SmackDown. We open the show with Nick Aldis standing in the ring, and he introduces us to our new Queen of the Ring, Queen Nia Jax, who walks out here and basically says, I'm the fucking best, fuck y'all, and immediately says, Bayley, get your ass down here. Your queen demands it. And right away, Bayley answered. So it goes to show the queen over the champion right now. But right after Bayley walks out, she gets like 5 feet maybe out of the entrance ramp before Piper Niven walks out and just completely wrecks her with Chelsea Green by her side. And they throw Bayley into the ring. They give her a senton and just flatten her out. I think Piper even held up the belt over Bayley, but I can't remember exactly. But Chelsea Green then grabbed the mic, stepped up to Nia Jax and goes, Nia, you don't have to worry about fighting Bayley at SummerSlam, because by then your new champion is going to be Piper Niven, basically confirming that at Clash of the Castle, we're going to be getting Piper Niven versus Bayley. At least I hope so.
For real. I agree to that.
Yeah. I'm excited about that. But then we cut backstage to Nick Aldis walking to his office where we got a QR code. I think this one was really weird because he opened his office door, said something where he's like, hello, or how are you or something, and then the QR code popped up with a bunch of words where it responded to what he said, which pretty cool. They're actually interacting within and stuff now. Oh,
this
no,
shit's
of course
deep,
the announcers
dude,
said it.
Shit is
deep, bro. It's just getting crazy. It's gonna happen soon. But he was talking to AJ Styles, who was already in his office wearing a dapper blue suit, and he basically says, Aldis, I need just a few minutes to talk. And he says, and Aldis said, I don't really have the time for it. And AJ goes, no, I need to talk out there. He's talking about in the ring. And Aldis goes, all right, you got your time later tonight. So we got told that later tonight, AJ Styles is going to be talking in the ring to us.
Mm-hmm.
My dog just had a clothes hanger.
Nice.
But then we got told that in the ring, we're going to be getting a match between Tommaso Ciampa, accompanied by Johnny Gargano, fighting Austin Theory with Grayson Waller by his side. which I think this is going to start building to tag title feud.
Yes. I want to see DIY. That's what I'm saying. I think we saw a hint of it at WrestleMania.
Oh, yeah, I think so. But this match was popping off, of course. Ciampa was totally in control over Theory, just throwing him all over the ring until Waller was able to distract him on the apron. The entire match, though, Theory was going after Ciampa. He had a surgically repaired neck, so he was hitting neck breakers. He was hitting suplexes and doing all sorts of shit to him. Then Ciampa kind of fired back with a really good clothesline, and then he started doing the same thing. He started stomping on his neck and started doing neck breakers of his own and stuff. And I kind of got the feeling of damn, Ciampa's kind of going a bit of a heel offense here, where now he's targeting Theory really viciously here. And I think this could kind of tie into what we've been talking about, maybe a DIY heel turn.
I think we've been seeing something like that here recently, yes.
Or maybe a good guy, bad guy kind of team where Ciampa's a heel and Gargano's a good guy. I would really like to see something like that.
Gargano's always going to be a good guy. He's just trying to get. He's just Gargano.
He's just a nice guy.
Bro's got a whole Star Wars
fun little
house,
dude.
Bro.
How do you hate a guy like that?
Bro, I've been watching his vlogs and shit on YouTube. They're actually decent. It shows him, Tommaso, Candace, and Indy all behind the scenes almost, and how they travel and shit. And there's some spots where he'll bring up Johnny or his and Candace's son, and just moments with him and shit. It's all
that's awesome. Hell yeah. Permanent babyface right there.
Mm-hmm.
But don't cut back in the ring. We didn't go anywhere. But Ciampa's back in the ring. He attempted a fairy tale ending on the Theory, who just body dropped him. And I was surprised to see this. He hit the ataxia on Ciampa, which used to be his finishing move when he was on the Indies scene. And bro, they need to bring that back as a finishing move. It only got a near fall in this match, but I think that's better than the A-Town Down as a finisher. A-Town Down kind of sucks, if you ask me. Speaking of the move, Ciampa was able to stop an A-Town Down when Theory was going for it, and they both kind of got knocked each other out after that, which is when Waller on the outside started yelling at McAfee or Cole, I think both of them, where he basically took complete credit for Theory's success and
McAfee and Cole aren't
everything.
On SmackDown, Ryan.
Huh?
McAfee and Cole aren't on SmackDown. It's Graves and Barry.
Oh, Wade and Barry. I'm so used to McAfee and Cole. Shut up.
Me too, bro. I love Pat McAfee on commentary.
I miss those dudes. But yelling at those two, and Theory in the ring was like, bro, Waller, what the fuck you doing, bro? I'm the guy. This is all me. What are you talking about? Mm-hmm. Basically, which let Ciampa roll him up for the win. And like I said, I think this is going to be leading into a tag feud between these two over the titles.
Agreed. I want to see DIY hold the titles, please. I think next Friday we get Waller versus Gargano, which if Gargano beats Waller, then we'll get that match at either Clash of the Castle or Money in the Bank. Or we'll get it on a fucking SmackDown episode. But if that's the plan, then we won't see DIY win the titles. I don't think so.
Yeah. I definitely think DIY is going to be the next guys to hold those titles.
Mm-hmm.
And on even going further with that, I think that DIY holds the titles after A-Town Down Under, and then eventually we have the Gorillas of Destiny beat DIY.
Oh yeah,
which we'll talk about more about them later when we talk about the Bloodline. But we cut backstage to the trainer's room where Bailey was talking to the doctor, and the doctor said, basically, if you want to compete tonight, you're good, which is when Naomi was like, all right, bet. I'm going to go talk to Aldis, and we're going to have this tag match and shit. And she basically went up to Aldis, and when she went to Aldis, Blair Davenport was already in there and was like, what the fuck? I'm already talking here. When Naomi said that her shit, and basically, I think just set up a future match between the two of them.
Yeah.
Sorry. Throat's dry as fuck. Then,
jobs.
You know who it is. Walks in. LA LA Knight. Yeah. And what does he want? He wants Logan Paul. Where is he at? Not here. Yeah. But you know who is here? LA Knight. Yeah. We cut backstage to him walking out of the office, and who's there? Kayla Braxton? Yeah, the nosy Nelly. She's
Yeah.
He's looking around for Logan Paul, and he isn't there, but Logan Paul is. And so what's he gonna do? He's gonna go there next week, and if Logan Paul isn't there, LA Knight will be there. Yeah. Carmelo Hayes, though, of course, walks in. He talks his shit. Fumbles over his words, bro. He called Logan LA, which is when LA just tore this fool apart. Yeah, what did you do? You didn't go to grammar school, dummy. Yeah.
Bro. Dude, I love LA Knight. His promos, they're just like, he just fires, dude. He's just quick with it. I wish he was in the business earlier.
Awesome,
I'm happy that he's in where he's at now.
Up. Oh, hell yeah, bro. I can't wait for him to win that U.S. title. He better, dude. I'm so excited for it.
Who's the new SU? Who's the new SU? Dude, I'm done, bro. Who's the new U.S. champion? LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna lose my shit. I'm gonna lose my shit if that happens. But we cut to a little bit of a backstage segment with Andrade and Angel. Angel's like, "Hey, bro, I put in a good word with the this isn't LW, it's Legado del Fantasma for you, and the door's open if you wanna join." And Andrade was like, "Okay, I'll think about it." Or no, I think that was when he said thank you, but no thank you.
Yeah, he was so proper about it. I was like, okay, cool.
I like Andrade. Andrade is a fucking G, man.
Andrade.
I'll say it every time. I'm a huge Andrade fan, and I'm
agreed.
He deserves the world. But we did get a surprising match between Andrade and Apollo Crews from fucking nowhere. Where the hell did he come back from?
He was drafted.
Hell yeah, good for him. I want to see more of him, honestly, because in this match he was fucking awesome.
He's fucking shit up, dude.
Yeah, throughout the match though, we saw I gotta pull up the right one. Sorry, Andrade dominated the entire thing until Angel was able to come back, which is when Apollo was able to come in with a fucking beautiful moonsault, and he was actually like suplexing Andrade, picking him up. He hit a fucking like power slam on him, like deadlifted him up over his head. Andrade eventually like whipped him into the corner and hit a double knees into the corner, but Crews, like I said, hit that press over his head on Andrade, hit a standing moonsault, which is freaking insane. Like I said, why isn't Apollo used more?
That's what I'm saying. Apollo needs to be used more. He's such a good athlete. I just don't know where you could put him because he's been in so many shitty storylines.
There's no repackage him and put him just in the mid card, like put him as an IC title contender. Put him, or he's on SmackDown. So put him as a US title contender for LA Knight at some point. Yeah, especially if he's gonna go on like that a really long, like I said, like we want a Gunther like title run for the US title, but maybe for a babyface like LA Knight, and you could have him beat Apollo Crews, someone who could give him a really good match.
Yeah.
But at the end of it, Andrade hit El Sombra or the Shadow to Crews for the win after Crews was distracted by Angel on the apron. Which, like I said, I want to see Apollo Crews used more. I want to see Andrade get, like, I think I mentioned it last week. I want to see Andrade eventually get, like, put in the world title scene. I think that would be
You mentioned that many times in the past. 100%.
Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking love it, dude. Then I think we cut to a quick little backstage blip where Andrade and Angel were talking in the locker room, and Angel was like, "Bro, what the fuck? You made me look bad back there." And then Apollo attacked him at some point.
Yes, like literally immediately.
I think that match got announced for next week. Yes. Apollo versus Angel. Mm-hmm. So there we go. Apollo's getting used more. Fuck yeah.
I think Apollo will get attacked by Legado del Fantasma, Andrade, El Idolo. Come on.
El Idolo. I love doing that. El Idolo.
Sounds like you're saying EA Sports. It's in the game.
EA Sports. It's in the game. But dude, we cut to a hell of a good segment. This was like a really big portion of the show. I fucking loved it. It was a good old fashioned Bloodline segment. We love those.
Mm-hmm.
But it was backstage. The Bloodline was talking, and Heyman walks up, and that's when Solo was like, "All right, you two can walk away," talking to Tama and Tonga. And he turns around, and Paul was basically like, "How can I like serve you better? Like, how can I like be more of service to you?" Because when it came to Roman,
how can he be a better wise man?
He was like calculated.
Yes.
Yeah, how can I be a better wise man? Because when it came to Roman, and whenever he committed violence, he was always calculated. He always talked to Paul Heyman before he'd made his decisions.
We want Roman.
We want Roman. Everyone was chanting that. But yeah, when it came to Roman, he always talked to Paul Heyman about stuff. And when it came to Solo, and when it came to the Guerrillas of Destiny, Tama and Tonga, they're just committing violence to commit violence. Like, they're not looking for counsel. They're just looking for reasons to do it.
No, of course.
Says that Roman's strategy is that, like, when Roman comes back, we got to have Cody Rhodes in check, right? And then Solo goes, bro, we already got Cody Rhodes in check, and he don't even know it. When Paul just looks at him with the funniest face, and he goes, "Who's we?" Which I think we is the final boss.
I think we is
That's
Jacob.
what I'm thinking. Think we is Jacob?
I think we has to do with Jacob. And honestly, now you said the final boss. I think the final boss and Jacob are probably going to be one of the last one or two members to join the Bloodline. And that's who we is going to be.
I think so.
But I think everybody knows there's rumors for Cody versus Rock next year at WrestleMania. So if Cody does hold the title all the way through WrestleMania, who's we could be the final boss.
Could be the final boss. Which is when, after he said the we thing, we had Kevin Owens' music hit, and he walked out to the ring, which Solo turned to Paul and he goes, "Yo, you need to fix this now." So Paul, of course, scurries the fuck away like a little Paulrus he is.
Little Paulrus.
Like a little Paulrus he is, of course. Well, I gotta grab a drink real quick. My fucking throat is killing me.
Yeah. Oh, man, dude. I think this KO promo and Paul Heyman was very, very good. I mean, I wrote down a shit ton of notes for this. I assume you did as well.
There we go. Oh, damn. My throat was killing me there. In the ring, of course, we had KO standing there, sitting on the turnbuckle, which is Paul Heyman immediately walks out. "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman." Before which, of course, Kevin Owens mentioned the Randy Orton screw job, saying that, Randy didn't really lose at WrestleMania, and saying that he flew all the way to Saudi just to have his back. Oh, Saudi Arabia, my bad. Fucking A.
We might see WrestleMania in Saudi at some point. There's some, I think some Saudi officials pushing for it. I'm not even kidding.
I wouldn't be all for it. But of course, the meat and bones of this was when we heard, "Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman." And basically says he wants to talk to him about this man-to-man, father-to-father, professional to professional, and they just got showered with "We Want Roman" chants, which I loved Paul's little line of, "Trust me, nobody misses Roman more than me." And he says that when it comes to Roman and his title reign, he respects Kevin Owens because he saw him as a legitimate threat to his title, and dare I say it, Roman even acknowledged Kevin Owens. And says that, now the bloodline isn't what it used to be. Now the bloodline's, full of criminals and shit. He calls them bloodthirsty, sadistic thugs, which I don't think that's inaccurate. Look at Tama. He growls like a fucking goblin half the time. Basically says that he's begging for Owens to back off of the bloodline because they aren't looking for reasons to take him out. They're looking for excuses to take him out. Kevin Owens, of course, though, bro, he don't buy that shit. Says he's known Paul Heyman way too long to fucking buy that shit. Says that Roman was always his cash cow, And that now, who's Paul's cash cow? Is it Solo? Because first it was Brock, now it's Roman, then it was Roman. Now, is it Solo? Is it this new bloodline? He says that for the past 4 years, he has been fighting the bloodline, and they've done everything to him. They even hit him with a fucking golf cart. Oh, it's just true.
It's not wrong.
But that was the bloodline, because that was Roman Reigns, that was Jey Uso, and that was Jimmy Uso. And those are guys that he also respects. He says that those guys back there, talking about Solo, Tama, and Tonga, says that that isn't the bloodline. That's just Solo and 2 guys. And he says that El Idolo. But he says he will do everything to get them out of his world, pointing at the ring, says that he wants them to get the fuck out of here, basically. Which Paul just goes, dude, why won't you understand that I'm trying to help you? Like, or no, I'm not trying to help you. I'm trying to save you. Because I've met your kids, you've met my kids. Why can't I have a redemption arc, basically, is what he says. He says, why doesn't anyone ever listen to me? And as he's saying this, he throws the mic, or he throws his hands out or something like that, but he hits Kevin Owens. And that's when everyone starts yelling, you fucked up, you fucked up, you fucked up. Which then we get Solo's music of dun 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 dun. And Solo and the rest of the bloodline walk out, presumably to just kill Kevin Owens. But of course, the Street Profits are there as backup. And that moves us into our next match of the Street Profits versus G.O.D., the Gorillas of Destiny, Tama and Tonga, for the first time on WWE TV, bro. Damn, I was pumped about this.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. We didn't get to see the beginning of the match, but when we came back from it, Tama Tonga and Montez Ford were legal, and Ford was in control, just wrecking this dude with shoulder tackles into the corner. But of course, they eventually spill into the outside, and Corey actually called out something that I didn't know, and that's the Gorillas of Destiny are 7-time IWGP World Tag Team Champions, and that's a standing record as of like right now.
Oh,
that thing's fucking dope as fuck. Yeah, I didn't know they held a record like that. But for the first time ever in a WWE ring, Tonga Loa gets tagged in, and for a few minutes we see what he can do by himself. And we also see G.O.D. working as a double team against the Street Profits for a while, until Tama, of course, gets tagged back in. He was basically legal for the entire match. But Dawkins, of course, hits the first hot tag of the match and runs wild on Tama, hitting a spinning splash into the corner, basically like a stinger splash on him. But Tonga eventually gets tagged back in and just wrecks Dawkins with a clothesline. And these two are both just completely destroying this fool. When Dawkins eventually gets to fight back and tag in Montez. But, bro, Montez has one hell of a hot tag. I can't even lie. Montez goes fucking wild on it.
I agree.
And he goes crazy. And eventually the Street Profits even hit a freaking blockbuster on Tonga Loa and almost get the pinfall, but Thomas stops it. And then we get a little bit of a mix-up between Tonga and Dawkins, and eventually Tama gets a blind tag in there. And right after like some kind of trip up, like Tama got thrown to the side, Tonga hits this. I don't even know what the fucking name of it is. It's the fucking like flatliner, but it's like a face buster type move onto Dawkins for the win. And G.O.D. gets a fucking dub on WWE TV.
Dude, that match was good, but dude, I've been thinking, why are you even talking about this? Do we see them in tag team title feud?
Yes.
This is how I'm seeing it. We could see DIY take it off of Austin, Theory, and Waller. Then or Street Profits take it off of our current champions. And then if say DIY wins it, then we see DIY versus Street Profits or DIY versus GOD. And then whoever has the title after that, basically now the Street Profits or GOD are going after. They're going after one to another because they keep bringing up or like they keep saying the Street Profits keep saving whoever the bloodline goes after.
Yeah, I 1000% want to see that. Dude, you hit it right on the money. Swear to God, I want God to have the titles after DIY has the titles, because like I think DIY, because they've been there. I mean, it's only like a few months, but they've been there longer on the main roster. That has just been like on the grind and shit. Like I thought they were gonna win the titles at WrestleMania, DIY that is.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that now they should get a tag title run, maybe not a transitional title run. Like definitely have them like be good defending champions, but eventually have them lose to God.
I gotcha.
And then that's when you start to build back up to. I think that would be like sometime maybe around Survivor Series is when you put the tag titles on them. Then you can start building back to Usos and Roman versus this new bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck,
But
man.
that does cut us to backstage. Jade and Bianca Belair are just walking. They ain't even doing nothing. They're just talking their shit, you know?
Talk your shit,
And Indy
Queen.
Hartwell, they talk your shit, y'all. When you look like that, you can talk all the shit in the world. Trust me. And then Indy Hartwell walks in and basically blames both of them for the fact that Candice LeRae is injured. And
But
Jade,
she's just at home with Quill. Leave her alone.
right? Just leave her alone. Jade, of course, the fucking like brutal savage that she is, goes, you know what? If you want, I'll gladly put you on the shelf right next to your little friend. And bro, Jade just comes across like a bad motherfucker like that.
Jade's a bad bitch.
Like she don't give,
She's a
like,
bad
she don't give no
bitch.
fucks. Like
Fuck the
she's
bitch.
just gonna hurt you.
Oh God. Oh man. Fuck.
But what do we see? Do you see anything happening with these women tag titles? Maybe with this whole like Shayna Baszler, Zoe Stark thing that they're doing? Because I think they mentioned they're going to Raw in this to confront them.
I don't even think they're gonna go to Raw to confront them. I think we're gonna see Shayna and
Zoe.
Thank you. Zoe go to SmackDown instead,
Yep.
because Sonya Deville did bring up a good point.
Yeah, I think she did too.
Which,
But this did cut us real quick to, or go ahead.
No, go ahead.
All right. Cut us to Kayla Braxton and Michin backstage, who we haven't seen in fucking while. Ah, damn. And let me tell you, bro, she had on a beautiful necklace. Michin did. And, of course, Nia Jax just steps in and is like, bro, get the fuck out of here. Why are we even talking about AJ Styles? Like, we need to be talking about the Queen, Nia. And Michin and her necklace walked up to her and goes, dude, you need to shut the fuck up and get the hell out of here. And, of course, I think that's going to be building to a match between these two later on down the road, which I'm not, against. We got to get Nia Jax some big wins.
Yeah, Nia where she needs to be. Queen
Nia. Get
Nia.
Nia up to world title status. So I think that in the long run, she's going to be beating Bayley for it.
Oh, agreed, dude. 100% agreed on that.
Queen Nia.
Brother, off topic though. Dude, my mom just brought in a chicken quesadilla. Fire. I have not even tried it yet, but it looks fire. Anyways, let's get back into it.
Chicken quesadilla for the win.
Yeah.
Well, this did get us to Bayley and Naomi versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. I really like this match. I like the fact that at the end of it, Bayley, or a little bit of a spoiler, Piper and Chelsea got the win. I think that was really important because they're actually like an established tag team.
Which, if you noticed, it's usually Chelsea's music that plays. They played Piper's.
I did notice that, yeah.
I noticed that too. I was like, oh, this is interesting. Now, where are they going to go with this?
Mm-hmm. Which I think that's because they're starting to hype up Piper as the next world title contender.
Well, I hope so, dude. Piper is such a good wrestler, dude.
Piper is. I like Piper Niven. That match with Jade Cargill was fucking awesome.
Oh, my God.
But this match, however, Bayley and Chelsea started off. And, of course, dude, Chelsea Green plays her character so perfectly. Bayley just started whooping her, throwing her around the ring, and she immediately tagged in Piper, who just played a absolute monster in this match. Completely took over Bayley, like hit the most sick sentons, just throwing her all throughout the ring. It was insane. And eventually Naomi gets tagged in, and Chelsea tags back in after Piper lays them both the fuck out.
It's Chelsea.
And the baby faces eventually fire back with twin dives to the outside. Everyone's going crazy. Everyone's flying. Everyone's getting hurt. But after a commercial break, Niven and Bailey are both in the ring, and Niven once again, dude, she doesn't even give Bailey a chance to breathe. She just completely destroys this bitch. And so, like I said, like Green's entire strategy throughout the match was let Piper whoop her, then I'll tag in, and then I'll and then I'll try to get the win.
Of course.
But right when Niven tries to tag in Green, Bailey was able to tag in Naomi, who gets the hot tag, runs wild on everyone, even hitting a split-legged moonsault onto Green. And she then hit Chelsea with a rear view, and it looked like she was going to get the win when Niven, I really like the ending of this match, Niven just fucking flattens everybody with a senton. Green and Naomi both get hurt, and then she just drags Green on top of Naomi for the win. And, dude, like I said a little bit ago, Niven came across like a damn beast in this match, and I loved it.
Oh, my God, dude. Niven she needs to get away from Chelsea.
I don't think so. I think they're a really good pairing together.
I think they are too, but like, if you want to push her as like a legitimate world title contender, get her away from Chelsea because Chelsea's just a distraction. No,
I think they're. I disagree with that one personally.
Okay.
I think they're like a really, really great teaming together. I think they're honestly like, I wouldn't say perfect, but I think they could like have a really long run together.
Yeah.
Even if you wanted to do like Chelsea as like a pseudo manager to Piper as like the main event star.
Yeah.
And have Chelsea be the, I guess, like how Kaiser and Gunther is a really great example. Kaiser is there to get beat up, and Gunther is there to beat everyone up. And you can do the same thing with Chelsea and Piper.
Okay.
In a more comedic way, though.
Right. I got you. Okay.
That's kind of my whole mentality behind that thinking.
Okay, now I get it. Yeah.
But then we get backstage right before our main event segment. LA Knight, yeah. What's he do? Stops AJ Styles. Yeah. What's AJ Styles doing? Wearing that blue suit. Yeah. What's he doing? Asking AJ if he's going to retire. Yeah. Oh,
love that
shit. I love LA Knight. But he asked basically asked asked AJ if he was going to retire or whatever. And he goes, if it's true, respect. And they shook hands. AJ then walked past Cody. They shook hands, and he whispered something in Cody's ear. And he walked past the OC who were standing there, and he goes, if I'm going to do this, I want y'all out there with me. I want to do this right. So he brings out there with him in the ring. So we cut to AJ standing there once again, bro. This blue suit, looking dapper as fuck. What the hell? It's going to tie into something later, though, of course. But he says that he talked to Aldis about wanting another world title match, and he said that he doesn't have the time left in his career to climb the ladder to have another match with Cody, because last week he just saw his son graduate high school, and that got him thinking, like, how many more moments like this has he really missed? And he says that instead of focusing on being the phenomenal one, maybe he should just focus on being a phenomenal father. Which, damn, that got me, man.
Oh my God.
I can't lie. AJ is one of my favorites. So, like, hearing this kind of like retirement talk, it's like, bro,
We're getting
it's
old.
like it's smacking me in the face. I don't want to see AJ retire.
Ryan, the current NXT stars are as old as we are.
Oh my God, bro, what the fuck? It's wild as fuck.
I'm fine, bro.
So you're saying that I have a shot?
Yeah.
Whoop that trick. Whoop that
trick.
We'll go whoop that trick. But then they all do the good old too sweet, and AJ goes, Cody, I whispered something in your ear, and what I whispered was that when I called you out, I want you to come out here. So, of course, Cody comes out, and bro, what's Cody wearing? He's also wearing a dope-ass suit. He's wearing a fucking, AJ's wearing a bright blue one. Cody's wearing, like, I don't even, it was like cream-colored. It's like, damn. Like, y'all look fucking dapper as fuck. I remember another guy who said he was retiring that looked dope as fuck in a suit like that.
Who was that, Ryan?
But AJ, what?
Who was that?
That was Mark Henry, bro. I don't know how that good time, but AJ says that he wanted to tell Cody that he had one of the best matches of his entire career at Backlash, and that this is the house that AJ Styles built.
Dude, Mark Henry's a clown. He posted on Twitter. He goes ... Well done, AJ, and 3 clapping emojis.
Oh yeah, right. But
that's why I wanted to bring that up.
Yeah, I'll bring that. Yeah, he did. it's similar. But he said that he wanted to hand Cody the keys to the house now. And of course, Cody, what's he do? That Cody Crybaby starts crying. What did I tell you? The final boss has said, and this Cody Crybaby's a little bitch boy who doesn't need the world title. Oh shit! But he's crying, fighting back the tears because he's a little crybaby bitch. Says that after their match, AJ texted him and said in their one text message exchange that they've ever said that AJ called him little bro and said that and Cody said sorry that he wants to thank AJ for being a big brother to the entire locker room. He of course lifts AJ's hand up, spins him around, facing the crowd. AJ even does the little hands out. I swear to God, I wanted AJ to yell, "Baby, I'm coming home!" I wanted him to yell that so bad. But then, of course, we all saw it coming. He clotheslined Cody Rhodes, took him out, starts wailing on this fool, and then even drags him to the outside of the ring where, as the Good Brothers are holding back security, AJ preps him up on the steel steps, holds him in the Styles Clash position. That's a hard word to say. And gives it to him off the steel steps onto the floor and absolutely murks this dude. Cody is fucking dead.
Cody's
dude,
dead.
Fuck Mark Henry, Salmon Sue.
He's dead. He's dead.
Fuck off. I had a family. But dude, fuck Mark Henry, Salmon Sue. I'm all about AJ Styles' baby blue suit.
I'm all about this house that AJ Styles
built. But do we see the rematch happen at Clash at the Castle is what I'm wanting to ask you. I think so.
I'm going to say Money in the Bank because I've been looking at the main events for every single PLE, and they've alternated. Since WrestleMania, we've had WWE Men's Championship for the main event of Backlash. Clash at the Castle, the main event is Damian versus Drew. And I think Money in the Bank's the main event's going to be Cody and Styles, unless they do two.
King and Queen of the Ring, though. Cody main evented the last two.
I forgot about that show. We even covered that show and watched it.
So I can see where you're going with that. I would like them to do that, and I would love Drew to be the main event in Scotland. It makes the most sense to have Drew be the main event in Scotland, but with the way that they announced it right now, I'm thinking that this happens at Clash at the Castle, but I could see Money in the Bank too.
Yeah. The money in the
bank. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm super excited for this, bro. AJ Styles put on a hell. I swear to God, I wanted him to yell, "Baby, I'm coming home," and then I wanted him to yell at Cody, "I got a lot left in the tank." I wanted him to do it word for word like Mark Henry did it.
Baby, I'm coming home.
I loved this angle from AJ Styles because, dude, I just love AJ Styles. Period.
AJ Styles built.
I love how they turned him babyface for 2 hours just at the thought of him potentially retiring, and then he turned mega heel.
Bro, straight up.
Love it.
Yeah.
But that is about all I have in terms of Friday Night SmackDown review.
That's all I have for Monday Night Raws. Let's get into my personal favorite segment. Uncle Howdy. We saw a lot of shit this week. A lot of shit. Starting on Monday, we got our new URL, ROM122, which could stand for either Romans 12:2 or Romans 1:22. Romans 12:2 says, "And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." And that you may prove what that is good and acceptable in the perfect will of God. I underline specifically transformed by the renewing of your mind, because I think this is kind of Howdy talking about the fans and people saying that they know, being transformed let me restart. The transformed by the renewing of her mind, kind of going back to the therapist being brainwashed in the last Uncle Howdy episode type deal that we did. But there was also Romans 1:22, which I ended up looking up today. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools. And I think this is talking about the fans saying they basically know how they should book Uncle Howdy's debut and all that good shit instead of letting WWE, take care of it and let it play out as time goes on.
Right.
QR code flashed because we believe. But I went back and looked at the picture. There's a missing A and because and I think it's like towards the bottom right, and it's missing an A, which I'm thinking could that be Alexa Bliss being the missing member from the PW Insider list? Kind of tying into what the therapist being brainwashed, there was 2 videos. The first one is the therapist saying she was fine, never in any danger, but is thankful. This is where it gets a little eerie. Is thankful he set her free, and she just smiled right through the rest of it. It didn't cut off, nothing. The entire news footage just kept rolling with her smiling. She just stopped talking. Shit. And then there was the same picture of what we saw from that news footage was seen from the King and Queen of the Ring QR code from whatever we recorded that episode. And then we get the second video. The second video is in the therapy room, a black and white version of the first video on a laptop. And then there's a figure, we move the figure, the camera pans up and it's the chair in the therapy room. And the Pluto symbol is right just fucking right there next to the mirror, right next to it, between the bookshelf and the mirror. And then it glitched, and then we saw a figure sitting in a chair. This figure has blonde hair, a strand of blonde hair, and a lot of people have been noticing here recently that Bo Dallas has had blonde hair. So I think we could have, seen this is more okay. Now we're coming. He's kind of revealing himself more and more as time goes on. But if you scroll down on the webpage, you got Decree 900. It was a law passed in Guatemala on June 17th, 1952. Again, June 17th being the date we think we're going to see Uncle Howdy. In the source code, there was I don't know how to find a fucking source code, but I like looking at this shit because it's cool. There was one Wheezy B, and it's a WWE Twitch streamer named Wheezy Blonde, who streams Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown, I think reactions every week. And then someone that follows us and we follow on Twitter, his name is Crimson. He's in this wrestling Discord I'm in, and he was actually seeing the source code as well. And there was the guy I always I get some of my ideas from for this Uncle Howdy thing. He had quote unquote sacrificed Crimson because they're good friends, so he's just playing around with them. He sacrificed Crimson to Uncle Howdy, which I thought was pretty funny. But as Raw goes on, we saw a picture of Mercy the Buzzard seen backstage, which I thought that's what I saw, but I didn't go back because I wanted to watch the rest of Raw. So I was like, I'll just leave it alone because I didn't know. Mm-hmm. Turns out it was Mercy, which I thought was pretty cool.
Fucking bothered.
Then there was a screenshot of what I believe. Wait, yeah, I forget this part. Okay, we would see a tease for Uncle Howdy with being D Seaside Sparrow, a dusky seaside sparrow. They went extinct, and supposedly there's only 6 that have ever in the world existed. But if you go to the Dusky Seaside Sparrow page, the wiki page, it was changed to "He set us free. Revel in what you are. You can't escape your Uncle Howdy." And I was dicking around on Wikipedia. Didn't know I could do this. I found out where you could edit it and everything. And one of the edits said June 17th. He is here.
Oh, shit.
I mean, it's Wikipedia. Obviously, you can change a lot of shit, but still, that's a little weird that I just happened to find that. To me, at least.
Right.
Then we would get a journal update from Uncle Howdy's journal titled "Do You See?" Just a little longer until all is revealed. Now we see, we gaze upon our calling, ever grateful to be chose. Zenile arms wide open, welcoming the very ones the world rejected. I am nobody. I am all of us. Now, this isn't really the storytelling. Ryan, if you look at the first 4 lines, the first letter of every sentence spells out June, and the same
Yeah.
thing with the last 4. It spells out 17 in Roman numerals, which obviously you can see I put down here, right here. Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
Which again, we're kind of hopefully confirming June 17th is when he's coming. And then
I am coming.
like I mentioned earlier, we potentially seen Alexa backstage. Turned out wasn't her, so it doesn't really matter. But there was a QR code in WWE 2K24.
They're going
And the
everywhere with
feature,
this thing. It's awesome.
it is insane. And I scanned it, and the feature, it said remember, and then there was a question saying remember the veiled bride is Alexa the figure in the chair, like we've been talking about, or is it Bo Dallas? But the living room from the last video that we saw when the guy was playing 2K24, Bailey versus Bianca, that was actually Rob Fee's living room, and Rob Fee is he works for, I believe, WWE. I forget. But basically, he's like huge name in WWE, and I lost my, and he that was his like living room and shit. It's not actually who I thought it was. But Alexa broke her silence on Instagram saying, with the caption, "I see your eyes. I know you're watching me," which are actually lyrics from her "Fight Me" thing that she has. But the photo she posted with it was from Royal Rumble 2023, which is the last time we saw Alexa on TV. But she was left in the ring with Uncle Howdy, so-called watching, where she sat in the ring and all that crazy shit was happening with all the Uncle Howdy shit.
Yeah.
So is Uncle Howdy watching her? Like, does Alexa know, like, hey, I know you're watching me. Like, I can physically see you.
Maybe. Maybe that's what they're getting at with this.
I think this helps solidify more. Alexa Bliss is going to be a part of this faction. But I did see today, with our first 2 URL names, we had predicted them being potential members of this. Well, there's also been a theory running around that we get the first 5. So we get Howdy, Rowan, Loomis, Cross, and Gacy. And then it said 5-1, and then it was Alexa's initials after. Do we see Alexa joining later on? So do we see her come back as herself, like her normal self, and then she still is getting tormented as she's returning, or as her return goes on?
Maybe, and she's the one that they're trying to like persuade to jump over and switch sides like that and join them.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Maybe. I could see something like that. I think that'd be really interesting.
Then Uncle Howdy would actually hack WWE's Twitter on Thursday and post a pic of, and there a picture we posted of him, supposedly who we think is him, by the river, which I believe I will get to later. Yes, I will get to that later. I will, but the caption for it is "Signs and Wonders," which is in the SmackDown QR code, which I will get to after. But then we had another journal entry. I have shown you signs and wonders. Again, referencing signs and wonders. So kind of keep that in mind. You believed, by your faith, you shall be spared. Destruction awaits those who don't need or who do not heed. My wrath will be swift, all shall fall. I think we're seeing here by him saying, you believe by your faith you shall be spared. By the people who have not shit on him for taking so long, they're going to be spared. It's kind of like Judgment Day almost. Like according to the Bible, like, you know, if you have that relationship with God, you're going to heaven. If you don't, you're staying on earth for 7 years through whatever it is. I forget exactly. Right. But I think it's kind of how we're seeing this, because then it says destruction awaits those who do not heed. My wrath will be swift and all shall fall. Again, kind of giving that type of biblical vibe to it. Then we get to SmackDown, which I do want to remember. I want you to remember what I said earlier. Where'd it go? I lost it. I need to... Cody would actually tweet out, always revel in these moments. I mean, can we see something with Uncle Howdy and Cody? What do we got with that?
I think that could potentially be something that happens in the future. I wouldn't like to see that be something that happens like immediately, you know.
Yeah, of course.
But at some point, like after Uncle Howdy and this faction is officially like established on the roster, and Cody is moved on from the bloodline completely and moved on maybe from the Randy feud that we're all wanting to see, then yeah, I could see it.
Yeah. But with Cody saying "revel in what you are," or not revel in what you are, revel, always revel in these moments. Like on the Dusky Seaside Sparrow wiki page, he set us free. Revel in what you are. I don't actually know the definition of revel, to be honest with you. Oh, to take part, just basically take part in anything. I think with Uncle Howdy, they're all saying, take part in it. But Cody's also saying as well, like always take these in as well. Like these moments never last. But hey, I don't know with that. The URL name is recapitulation, which means an act or instance of summarizing and restating the main points of something. Which basically this takes you back all to the old videos from the past, except for there was 2 new URL endings. Signs, like I was saying, Signs and Wonders was footage from the front door cam screenshot that ended that I mentioned last week. I was just scrolling on X today and I actually paid attention closer. There's a figure that walks past a picture frame in the house.
Really?
And personally, yeah, I'm thinking is this Rob Fee's house cam? Like with this figure walking past, it was just so brief, but it looked like it was walking towards stairs in a hallway, which is what we saw last time in that video with it being Rob Fee's house. Was that the night of when Rob Fee was like attacked or whatever? Then we had Wonders, which followed the tweet from Thursday. Which I was saying the Signs and Wonders tweet, like there was a guy being on the side of a river being Uncle Howdy potentially. It was a video of a guy videoing the guy who we think is Uncle Howdy, but he turns and it looked like a different mask. It was like an owl mask. It was like Batman's owl's mask almost. Like I seen something being like a relation between the potential Wyatt family wearing owls and being owls instead of what they were.
We have seen a lot of like bird image, like it's all night bird stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that would make sense for them to be a bird themed like cult kind of idea.
Yes. Then we run into 2 Twitch stream leaks from the past 2 Twitch streams, Elucidate and Remember. And then there was a sad face with like a red X for eyes. And there was an image that said, "We will tell you more tomorrow." Which there was a big ass letter that said, "Save yourself, dead center." But if you downloaded the image file read WWE.com, but it was WWE.com. And this sad face, which I will get to, I think after our journal entry. Yes, after our journal entry. But the sad face is very similar to Alexa Bliss's logo, which shows a smiley face with pigtails and X's for eyes. This is a sad face with X's for eyes. But there is also 17 drawings on that paper as well. Or there's a paper on the right that it had 17 drawings of stick figures with eyes crossed out. And again, it could be another June 17th reference, which I'm hoping it is because I want to see Uncle Howdy now, man.
Right now,
but
bro.
I understand this
waiting.
time. I get it. I'm not tired. I actually got back into it. But there's a bunch of stars as the background of this website, and there's 1 star is red. Is this like referring to Bray Wyatt, how he is the color red in a world full of black and white, and they're looking to him as still as a leader almost. And then as a little Easter egg, cool the webpage makes actually a Pluto symbol. So that was pretty cool. I didn't know that up until I was actually watching See Wrestling UK's video. Then journal entry today. Today's journal entry: massacre. The eye of the storm approaches. It is inevitable. 1 chance at survival. Instructions to follow. I think we'll see more instructions, like a quote-unquote instructions later on in journal entries. But the eye of storm approaching, that it's being inevitable, I think this is where we're getting ready to see Uncle Howdy just absolutely start. Once he debuts, he's going to start unleashing on everything.
Wreak havoc on the roster.
Yes. And like I think what's going to happen is I think they might try to play into it with the fans. To be honest,
What do you mean by that?
Because again, the fans are just shitting on like, hey, you need to come now. You need to come now. Why are we waiting so long? Da, 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 da. Like this is taking too long. I
Maybe.
think this will also have to do with the fans. I don't know. But going into the WWE.com, the URL was 71ENUJ, which is if you went to the WWE website, there's a picture of who we think could be potentially Uncle Howdy, all distorted. But the URL is June 17th backwards. And this is what it read. It was titled Hello. And it said this. Hello, I'd like to tell you a story about value. We often equate value with utilization. That is not the case. If a piece of currency is crumpled, ignored, and tossed to the side, does it lose its value? Of course not. It is simply in the hands of the ignorant. We often devalue ourselves as a result of the ignorance of those around us. Their words define us. I have been guilty of this myself. I have let the expectations of others determine my self-worth, but once I realized my calling, the words of the naysayers began to fall on deaf ears. I think with that, I think it's kind of referencing to when he was part of like 3MB and he was being used as a jobber, to be honest. But then again, I am nobody. I am all of us. When you free yourself from the preconceived ideas of others, from the lies, you become liberated. I accepted my calling. Only then I was able to set the others free. We followed the words of the red, and now we see. I offer you one last chance at redemption. It doesn't have to be this way. The cave can no longer exist. We are going to burn it to the ground. A massacre is coming. I mean, going back to the massacre, there's a storm coming, dude. I mean, Jade Cargo's already here, but there is a huge. I think this Uncle Howdy's going to go absolutely just straight murder the roster and absolutely just go ham. I think they're going to do so good with this, but the execution has to be right.
Right. I think the execution, like, I feel like they really have potential to build like a character whose prestige is more than that of like the world title. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like the way that the Undertaker's undefeated streak was almost like, what would you rather have? Like, would you rather be the world champion or would you rather defeat the Undertaker at WrestleMania? Like, I feel like they really have the potential to build this as like, what would you rather do? Be the world champion or be the one to bring down Uncle Howdy?
Yeah, I got that.
And like maybe his character, like I've kind of like mentioned it on a few episodes, I think, could be something where like he doesn't care about going after the world title. He just cares about causing chaos and causing fear among people. So that like his whole like MO could be like, I'll like occasionally fight the world champion. Like maybe this could be like why they're going after Cody. Maybe this could be how they introduce him versus Cody Rhodes. Where like I want to fight the world champion, not to win the championship, just to prove that I'm better than the champion.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yes.
Just to prove that like he's really the top dog of the roster, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that could be a really cool idea.
Mm-hmm. I agree. But at the bottom of the page, we'd see 168 out of 197. June 17th is the 168th day of the year. And if you added those two together, 168 plus 197 actually equals 365. And the math is correct. Did the math right then and there? That's correct. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, yeah. Steiner math right there, baby.
Steiner math. I got the Steiner genes.
Swojo, you got 33 and 30% chance when you step in the way with me.
Then if you zoomed into that photo where you could click the link to see the story, it read Revelation 13:1. And this is according to the King James Version. And I stood upon the stand of the sea, saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And with there being 7 heads and 10 horns, that equals 17. June 17th. Again, this is being heavily pushed. So I think we will see him. I hope so, but hey, you know what? I'm in this ride. I'd rather be in this ride than fucking The Rock's ride up to WrestleMania. Fuck him. But there was a journal entry, maybe I think Friday or Saturday, labeled "False Prophets," and it says, "Do not be fooled. They speak with my tongue, but know not my words. Rancid, cheap imitations. Although I ignore, I'm filled with disgust. Again, I think taking another shot at the fans. To be honest, the fans just pissing him off. You know, he's got them Steiner. No, I'm kidding. He's not having Steiner. But I think we will see something with. Like again, I think the fans will be heavily involved in this now that their voice is being heard and that Uncle Howdy's hearing their voice.
Yeah, I feel like they really have potential to turn this into like if they do want to involve the crowd more into this, they could really like tie it in as the crowd being like his cult following, you know?
Mm-hmm. I'm actually gonna hold on to this website, but to go back to Revelation 13:1, I was actually watching a Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse video from SmackDown, February 24th, 2023, and he briefly mentions a beast with 7 heads and 10 horns.
Well, it's all coming back.
It's all full circle.
All full circle, bro. Wyatt called it.
I think even before that, I think there was supposed to be something else with Howdy, but with Bray, you know, obviously being gone, RIP Bray, they had to change it up.
Right.
But that's all I have for Uncle Howdy. But I do have to ask, Ryan, we've already talked about top, wrestlers. Who would you have on your Mount Rushmore for tag teams?
Mount Rushmore for tag teams. Ooh.
Throughout all of wrestling history.
Throughout all of wrestling history. Already going to put the Usos. Usos is already on there.
Usos! That's
Usos!
With the Usos.
Road Warriors.
Okay.
Motherfucker. I would say the Freebirds. And then that last spot, man. Does it go to Wild Samoans or DX or the Hardys or the Dudleys?
Mine might be a hot take, to be honest with you.
I think my 4th spot just dropped something, my bad. Is gonna have to go to the Dudley Boys, just because they're my favorite. What's up? Just for what they did for hardcore wrestling and tag team wrestling in general.
WrestleMania 40. Having Dudley.
Oh yeah, that was fucking awesome. How about you?
There. I would have the Dudley Boys, the Usos, the Mega Powers, and to be honest, this is a hot take. I would have the NWO.
Really?
Yes. They helped push that or I definitely wouldn't say DX because I think like the Freebirds or the Von Erichs or someone else deserve it more.
Yeah, the Von Erichs and Freebirds I would have as interchangeable.
Like Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and Hulk Hogan just fucking.
Would you really consider them a tag team though? Like, did they ever win tag gold?
I'm pretty sure they won tag gold maybe once or twice. Let's see. NWO title wins.
I don't know. When I think of NWO, I think more of 3 top singles guys teaming up to be 3 top singles guys.
So are you talking about? Hold on. Are you talking about then? I'm
talking about Hall, Scott, and
no. Are you talking
Nash and Hogan?
More or less, they were champions, tag champions.
Yeah.
Okay, then if we're gonna do that,
were they? I don't know if they were. I don't know what their tag history was because I never watched WCW.
We weren't alive then. To be honest, the Outsiders captured the WCW Tag Team Champions 6 times, first winning them from Harlem Heat. So technically, yes, the NWO did win the World Tag Team Championships in WCW.
And they did. Damn, you're probably right there then. That's a good Mount Rushmore.
I'd have the Mega Powers on there because Randy Savage and Hulk Hogan just ran the fucking 80s, dude, in the early 90s, so they helped push a lot of wrestling.
Right.
The Usos have helped push modern tag team wrestling, and the Dudley Boys, because what's that? No, they pushed extreme, dude. If I really had like a match that I had to put on a Mount Rushmore of WWE matches in all of history, it would be their match with the Hardy Boys and Edge and Christian at like SummerSlam, I think is when it was.
Oh, yeah,
Absolutely would
1000%.
have that there, or any of their matches, bro. Just all their matches were so good, always.
They're all are so fucking good.
Agreed. But I mean, that's all I got, Ryan. I mean, you got anything else?
No, that is gonna be it for me. Ready for closeout.
Let's do it.
Well, yeah, thank you everybody for listening to the latest episode of the AAR Wrestling Raw and Smackdown Review Show. Don't forget to follow our Twitter at AR Wrestling Pod and Instagram at AR_Wrestling_. We come at y'all every motherfucking weekend with these reviews, so we will catch y'all next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.